Hi guys, and welcome to Angling For You. And today you join me with a quick fire review, and it is on something that I absolutely adore. You may have seen me with them in the past, and it's the Airity landing net handle, but this one is a little different. Now usually I've had the 4-meter Airity handles where you get a little bit of an additional section that you can put on to make it for sort of match fishing, or maybe like lighter silver fishing, or you would have the rest of it just in a 2-piece to have for your more commercial orientated. This one just goes straight commercial, and it's the Commercial Power 350. Now this is 3.5 meters, solid as a rock. Now I've just had the Guru in hand, which I've obviously had in the past, and that's about, in its commercial not full length mode, is around 6 inches longer than this, but side by side this is giving it a run for the money. Now, as you know, I've had Airities in the past and I absolutely adored them, and tournaments. This is no different. Now I feel a bit painful now because after holding it, it makes me feel like I need a venture to go and buy one. They are not cheap. They are £135, which I suppose for a flagship, if you compare to the 190 or so of the Guru, is not bad. Now this is an age-old question I get. Oh, I won't spend for 130 quid on a landing net handle, or 140 quid on a landing net handle. Trust me, sometimes it's better to put it in that landing net handle than it is the rod or the reel or the pole. And the reason I say that is, when you come down to it and you're netting that fish and it's a PB or it's an important match fish or whatever, having the strongest, stiffest, easy to control, lightest landing net handle that you can personally afford, only if you can afford it, is the most important thing for me. Poles you can control and stuff like that, yes, some are better at longer lengths, some are easier to flick over, but a landing net handle is so essential. It's the final part of netting that fish, and it's really important, and I would suggest you get the best you can possibly get for your budget. I have the slimline nitro one, there's the word, and that is unbelievable, and that's around 70 quid. So I suppose you could suggest, why would you go any further? Well, this one's more stiffer, it's unbelievably strong. When you squeeze it in your hand, you feel like it's just unbelievably well made. And in the background I am just smirking to myself because we're fishing at Moorfields Farm and Dan's telling us how much he's going to catch on pellet waggler in his first cast. He has put in the brambles, which is hilarious. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this undone. Now, as you'd imagine, like the normal of old, comes off with just push off bungs. In the past, we've had other ones that have had screw caps. The Prestons generally have screw caps. The Drennans generally have screw caps on the bottom. These are the good old pull on, push on caps. And as you can see, before we do anything else, it's 2-piece. The sections, putting them side by side, are almost identical in length. Putting them together, the joints super strong, as you would imagine, and like I said, you can really squeeze it and it just goes nowhere. The graphics are absolutely beautiful, nice and subtle, smoked out, with that sort of like grey kind of titanium finish. Commercial Power in red to mean it means business, and it's just nuts. I mean, I'm going to try and get to edge of camera here. It is unbelievable, and I know this is without a net, and of course we're going to put a net on and we're going to get that waggled out. And I'm watching Dan, and round 2 he's thrown it back straight into that same bush that he's got out of, which is hilarious. So amusing. The end has got the sort of PVC rubber kind of finishing, just helps with netting fish and get wear and tear. It's got the bezel is set into it for your screw, and it doesn't feel like aluminium, so which means it will be a lot stronger, but it's got that nice embossed sort of gloss black metallic on there as well, insert, so that makes it just look the part. What we'll do is we'll get it out and waggle it so we can see it in a bit more sort of bit of distance off it, so you can see a little bit of a waggle on it. But additionally, we're going to get a net on it and see what that does, and see how much it makes, if there is any sag on it. So let's spin the camera and have a glance. Just before we go on to a bit and bob around it. What we're going to do is lift it up with 3-4 kilo in the net and just sort of see what it looks like. I don't do this, if I'm honest, but as you can see, you can lift that pretty decent. I don't want to lift it any more than that, but like if you're lifting and scooping it in, you know, that's a good bit of weight in there, and it's handling it really well, which obviously is what you want it for your big fish. But it's not my landing net handle, so I ain't going to give it any more than that. Let's jump back on and see the other features that we've got. Right guys, so we have got on, and it's a good sized landing net head as well, so we can give it a real good test if you're fishing obviously for some pigs. Hopefully we got her in shot there, but as you can see, it is unbelievably strong, like absolutely unbelievable. You know, let's just hold it down and give it a bend. I mean, one-handed, easy, super strong. The finish is lovely as well to slide it down. Really, really, really nice. I mean, I could take off the landing net head and give it a waggle, but let's be honest, what is the point? Because you're not going to fish with no landing net head on. But even at holding it at full length, you don't really need anything really longer than that. Most likely you're going to be at this length, or you're going to be at this length netting fish, and you know, you will not be disappointed. And this is one of those scenarios that you pay your money, take your choice. If you've got the money, I would highly recommend it. If you haven't got the money, hit me up and I'll tell you some very, very good options that are mid to budget range. I've got a MIDI Muscle Tech, which is not ridiculously expensive, and that's a really good landing net handle. I've also got the Nitro, which goes a little bit further up, and that's also a great handle, but this is absolutely superb. So guys, hopefully that's been helpful to you, and we'll get a few reviews done and get cracking. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to know any more information, just click below and drop me a comment. Thanks a lot guys, and see you on the next one. Tight lines.